crazy, go crazy, go crazy, no crazy, no crazy, no crazy,
Welcome back to another Vinland Saga review. My name is Weekly Shonen, and today I'd like to talk to you about episode 20, Pain. Quick disclaimer, I'm going to be reading directly off of the script today because I'm very short on time, so I apologize in advance for not giving you the eye contact which you so rightfully deserve. As a sort of atonement, here's about 5 seconds of me looking deeply into your eyes. This episode covers 2 chapters, 92 and 93, and consists of mainly 3 scenes. We got the end of the battle, Arnheid's departure, and Thorfinn's processing of the situation. Starting with the end of the battle, Thorgil has shown us just how battle-hardened he is because his plan ends up working almost flawlessly. And so has Canute because he's able to both recognize Thorgil's value and, stop his own assassination. Well, at least delay it. Wolf shows us why he's a top-tier right hand and stops the second attempt. This short scuffle between Thorgil and Wolf was brutal to watch, but at least it showed us that they're very evenly matched. Snake comes in to basically save every named character in the farm, with the exception of Patter, so rip. I do wish he was a couple of seconds late for one of them because fuck Badger. He does make a valid point here though when relocating Ketil. He holds him accountable for his actions by basically forcing him to live long enough to face the consequences. Also, don't ask me what's going to happen with Snake and Ketil after this because I have no idea. Moving on to Arnheid's death scene, since I couldn't make this joke last week.
Yeah, double homicide.
It sort of reminds me of the end of the first Matrix movie because Einar fell in love with a dead woman in this sense. Or at least he confesses his love to her when she's dying. The Master Sword wants to be in camera, so I'm gonna be holding on to this for the rest of the video. It sucks that after all this torture, Arnheid, much like Gardar, dies after days of trauma, but at least Thorfinn gets to send her off with a bit of hope. The scene was a little bit longer in the manga, because you can see Thorfinn kind of thinking to himself what would Thors do in this situation, but honestly, once you see him perform CPR and, talk about Vinland, the same point is kind of made, so you don't really need it here. This is a good cut, and this is a bad cut. And of course, since I need to hit my weekly AOT comparison quota, here it is. Really, there isn't much here. It's just the idea of paradise on the other side of the sea just screams AOT season 3 ending to me. And I think we even see somebody pointing outward towards the sea in the last episode. And then the last section is just Thorfinn spitting. Some real bangers in this section here, so let me scroll down real quick. The first being, anger will manifest anger, and people will keep dying. That's all. I've been living that nightmare this whole time. By referring to his past as a nightmare, it gives more context to Thorfinn's new dream of ending war and slavery, because he's lived through it. His nightmare was the past, and sort of the present, because he's still dealing with it, right? He's still processing the demons that hold him back. But his dream can still be the future if he works towards it, and that's exactly what he starts to do at the end of this episode. But I won't get ahead of myself. The second line, God must be watching us even as we speak. As we lose our friends, as our parents and children kill each other, he is looking down upon all of that from above. Congratulations, Thorfinn has unlocked atheism. And this third quotable is by far one of the hardest lines ever spoken in this series. It seems that even though he's gone through quite the transformation this season, it's still too soon for Thorfinn to go back home. Why, you ask? Because he's still got that dog in him. After all this, seeing basically the entire farm get slaughtered in front of his eyes, Thorfinn looks at Leif and says, I took a look at their army earlier, and they only have 100 Yams Vikings, so I'll definitely make it back alive at the very least.
Did you say only?
So finally, Thorfinn and Canute will be having their reunion, and I thought this would happen about midway through the season, but clearly Yukimura had other plans, and, I'm not mad at them. Because it means that last season was about Thorfinn and Canute setting on their own paths and then venturing off towards them, and then this season was about the circumstances that would surround their reunion, which is beautiful. As for what they'll discuss, I'm sure it'll be an equal exchange. Like at first glance, it would seem that Canute is wiser because, well, he's a king, and because he went through some sort of transformation last season, but I want to disagree, because I think there will be reality checks on both sides here. You got one for Thorfinn's new idealistic view and another for Canute's pessimistic one. Like, I'm sure they'll both leave this meeting with something that they're gonna, have lingering in the back of their mind next season. Or, they could just throw us a curveball and Thorfinn never makes it to Canute, or he does, and then as soon as he gets there, they just start brawling. And, it ends with this thing where it's kind of like Thorfinn is escaping with Leif rather than leaving respectfully after a healthy disagreement. I wouldn't be surprised considering how quickly things went south last season. Because, I was under the assumption that, Askeladd would be alive right now, but that's clearly not the case. Secretly, I'm hoping that they agree and next season is about Thorfinn and Canute working together to create their own little kingdom or ideal world, but we'll see. Like I said, I trust Yukimura, and so, I'm along for the ride no matter what. But that's pretty much it. If you cannot tell, I've been streaming Zelda. Trying to finish this before today's stream, so I might have to start late, or maybe I'm able to edit this really quickly and I'm able to start on time. So we'll see. Either way, if you've somehow been missing those and you enjoy Zelda and you enjoy my face, then pop in every now and again. I'll be there struggling through early parts of the game because I am stubborn and because I love exploring high-level areas that I should not be allowed in just yet. So it's a hoot. It's fun. The streams are long. I'm trying to make them shorter because, it's an addiction at this point. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. I'm sorry. I've been blocking the galley this whole time. Anyway, I'll bring that to the forefront when I get back on Destiny, maybe next season. Anyway, that's all I got today. I hope you have a great day. I will see you soon. Be safe. Bye.